Alrighty, just letting everybody in. We'll make sure that we have that mute option turned on and everybody jumping in the room right now. So this is great. Let's see our people coming in. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for coming in. Hey, guys. Thank you, everyone. Great to see you. Fantastic. Bit of a roll call there. We've got Diaz come in. We've got Dwayne. We've got Hannes. We've got JP. Kenyon is here. Mr. Kyle Hendricks from our White Label Suite team. Thank you, sir. Leo Palmer's in the house. Leo, did the team help you out with logins and that kind of stuff following that email? Yeah. Okay, great. Fantastic. Michael Miles. We've got Sarah. Congrats on your demo yesterday. Stacy. Sukama's in the house. All right. Fantastic, guys. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in. Hey, we've got a bit of an open Q&A session booked for today. Guys, do a raise hand if you've got a question that you'd love to ask for me or for White Label Suite. If we can't answer the question on today's call, we've got about a 60-minute place that we can cover off anything to do with White Label Suite, anything to do with strategy, marketing. How should we approach this? How can we sell it? All that kind of stuff is open for question and answer. I always say anything's open except cooking questions because my answers would be disastrous. And you are more than welcome to ask those out. So if you've got a question specifically, do the raise hand thing down the bottom of the Zoom room. So you can use the reactions toolbar and jump in there and do a raised hand. And that way we can jump across and make sure everything's good. Hey, Stacey, great to see you. Thanks so much. Fantastic. So at the moment, I've got Sarah with a question, Stacey with a question. If you guys need a bit of a prompt as to what kind of questions you can ask, let me just share this for a second. Mark got a hand up there as well. Awesome. So questions, things like setup. How do I get my logo? What do I do with my domain? How do I create user accounts? That kind of stuff. You can ask about product tutorials. So it might be, how do we use the influencer search in the best way? Or what can we do with the people search or something like that? We can look at use cases. How would you approach a gym who wants to do this or that kind of question? We can look at the AI system. I know that there was a couple of people asking about the AI during the week. How do we get the prompt to give us back different information? Again, just memory jogs or just like ideas that you might want to ask. Quick sales method. You can look at how can we get this out to market quickly? Snapshots, resources, that kind of stuff. What have we got in the members area? All of those kind of questions. Just again, not limited to those, but that might help you kind of ask different things there and see what we can come up with. So Mark, I can see that question in the chat. That's fantastic. I'll answer Sarah first and then Stacey, and then we'll call on Mark and see if we can go like that. So Sarah, you'll notice that we've got the ask to unmute system turned on there. So hello,
Hello.
how you doing?
Survived.
Fantastic. Great to see you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Congrats on
Um,
your congrats on your
thank-
demo yesterday. So for those who are just joining us, Sarah had an amazing group webinar yesterday where she was presenting her brand of the White Label Suite tool and had a great response there. A couple of people right at the end saying, "I'm in, sign me up." It was great. So good job, Sarah. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the amazing presentation. I think people were just really excited about what you were talking about. I mean, we did not have anybody drop from, till the end, so that was good.
Very, very cool. And of course,
That was good.
we did that presentation for Sarah because she's part of our enterprise plan. So enterprise members, if you've got a group presentation demo setting, we can come and make that happen for you as well. So Sarah, fire away. What can we help you with?
So this is something also I'm hearing within the community where, we get high open rate with the email, but
Mhm.
nobody's really responding. And is that a GHL thing where we get the signal that somebody opened it when in actuality, like a person didn't open it? And like what workaround do we have? And part of the reason I'm asking that is one of the workflows, it removes people if either they open or click on an email,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, or reply. So I'm trying to see, are we getting like a false positive because of the way GHL is considering an open,
Mhm.
and then we're taking people out of the workflow? What have you guys seen in that aspect?
Yeah, so probably more of a GHL question than one for us. I know exactly what you mean though. So open rates, there's a lot of email apps out there that will I guess open or interpret an email, especially more and more with AI coming through these days. It's probably a GHL question. Unfortunately, I'd love to say I know exactly what's happening in the background there, but I've definitely seen email open rates increasing without necessarily seeing the activity as a result of that, Sarah. So a lot of the I guess you would say email marketing geniuses over the last year or so have been talking about the fact that open rates are no longer a good measure of email activity. It's got to be the action that gets taken from the email. So I don't know what GHL's system does in the background. If we think about it though, like again, this is a GHL question, so I don't know their background. I don't know how that stuff works. But if you think about it, if you got your contacts list in GHL, and then you go into that contact after you've sent them an email, it shows up, right? Does that count as an open, even though we've looked at it from our screen and seen it there? I don't know. I don't know if that's what's being done. Definitely worth asking the GHL team on that one. In terms of how do we get people to take more action? I think there's so much science behind email marketing and uh, direct response marketing itself. You can see a massive change in your results just by a single change of a word in a subject line, as an example, or in that opening paragraph. So, as much as it sucks to say, split testing is your best friend. You know,
Okay.
you've got to be able to look at the message that's there and run a particular message for a couple of weeks, run a couple of hundred people through that, get that kind of metric, change one thing. And when we're doing split testing, guys, for anybody who is on the call, when you're doing split testing, change one thing at a time, right? If you change the subject line, the opening paragraph, the call to action, then which one made a difference? We don't know. So we might say, okay, change the subject line and let that run for a week. Okay, now we have a good base measure and different split that we can have. And you can do your split testing within GHL right now. So change one thing at a time. Change your subject line, to have run two different subject lines with the same body, then take the winning subject line and run a body of an email, but change the first paragraph. Then once you know which one of those is good, go with change the winning subject line, the winning opening paragraph, and then change the call to action. And again, constantly split testing. And for those of us who are entrepreneurs like me, who are just like, run at it, go, just do whatever you can, that kind of approach really, really sucks because you're like, I don't have time, just get as many emails as you can. And I am 100% guilty of not walking the talk that I'm saying right now because I'm that guy. I'm like, just send more, get it done. But the data always tells the truth. So if you can run these split tests, you'll 100% know the difference. And I know this is a long answer to a question, but we have one of our clients who's an amazing copywriter, has been one of Australia's top copywriters for as long as I've known him, and has now pivoted into an AI agency with that kind of stuff. But he set up when he first started with us, he set up 3 months of emails. And it was so interesting the way he set it up. He literally, the first month, he had four different subject lines with the same email. So he went in and he was running leads and he would do the first week with the first subject line, the second week with the second subject line, the third week with the third, and the fourth week with the fourth subject line. Next month, he picked the winning subject line and changed his opening paragraph. Four different emails across 4 different weeks just to judge. The third month, he changed his call to action. So he took the winning subject line from month one, the winning opening paragraph from month two, and then split test the call to action in month three. He literally didn't even start to think about editing the campaign or anything else until after 3 months. And he knew that the testing was going to give him the best results long term. So that's a really great like forward thinking strategy. So again, unfortunately, open rates are something that has definitely, I've seen an increase in open rates without an increase in activity. definitely take it up with GHL, Sarah, and see if you can get an answer out of
Okay.
them as to what's
All
going on.
right.
But split testing's your friend.
Thank you so much.
Long answers to short questions. Hopefully, I'll try and cut it down a little bit more. Guys, don't forget
Good tips.
if you've got questions for those who have joined us, and Ebony's on our team who has jumped into our Q&A session here as well. These are just some memory prompts, things that you can ask, things that you want to talk about. If you've got a question, use the reactions bar down the bottom of our Zoom meeting here. Do a raise hand, and we will call on you, just as we did with Sarah a few moments ago. So I'm going to answer Stacey and then Mark's questions in the chat. If you don't want to jump on camera and you'd rather type in the chat there, that's great. If we can't answer the question, we will drop it into support and make sure we come back to you on it. So let me call on Stacey, and we can see how she's doing. Hey, Stacey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. Before I start like diving into, there's just so much material that you guys have, and it kind of segues into what we were just discussing. And I was wondering if you already had sort of like maybe a nurture campaign already isolated for when we onboard clients. Because without having to build it out myself, if there was already something in place to sort of like, instead of just sending them their username and password, start giving them like a campaign afterwards so that they're kind of like spoon fed how to like really start using the system,
Yep.
versus expecting them to go out, log into learning portal and all this kind of stuff. I was wondering if there was already something there. I thought you had also mentioned maybe it was like a couple of months ago, maybe like additional or new videos that were now available in terms of things. I wasn't sure if like you could just sort of bring us up to speed in terms of what's been happening behind the scenes, because everything kind of like went over to the voice stuff.
Right. Got it.
So
So I
I wanted
just
to go
asked
back to the
Kyle.
core.
Yeah, absolutely. I just asked Kyle to unmute. I know he's driving at the moment, so Kyle, please stay safe. But we have the new onboarding system has been created as a snapshot for you guys to be able to bring new customers in and push them straight through the onboarding. So if you want to test what does that look like,
Yeah.
let me just grab this. You can go through the onboarding that we have with Prospect Falcon. So can you guys still see my screen? Yes, no, yes,
Yes.
yep, we can. Thanks, Kate. So prospectfalcon.com/onboarding. This is the onboarding funnel that we built out for you guys. And it's available as a snapshot. It's got a welcome video. It's the white label version doesn't have that good looking guy on it, but it's a unbranded welcome. So it'll walk through and then the onboarding from here, you'll have people opt in so that we do an opt-in so that we can see where they're up to in the system. There's an opportunity board that sits behind that as well. So let me just show you what's going on here. As people opt in, now this free gift is something that we've done. We give them an extra 50 credits when they go through the onboarding. Again, don't worry about the thumbnails because the white label version is all white labeled. But this onboarding funnel is available to you in your members area, okay, and talks people through every step of the way with updating their wallets, all that kind of stuff. So this is all in place. I asked Kyle to unmute. I wasn't sure if there was an email that went behind that as well. Kyle, is there an email series that goes along with the onboarding funnel?
There is one that we build out for our enterprise plan partners. For the onboarding funnel snapshot, what's included with that is, basically like, hey, we noticed that you stopped at this step. Are you stuck? So that kind of series that just monitors where they're at in the onboarding process to see if they're stuck somewhere or have a question. So that's what that can help them with.
Cool.
Okay, so there's okay. So
Yeah,
this is available. Do you know where off the top of your head in the whole like training portal that is?
because it's so
The link is already in the comments.
the link
Huge.
is in the
Oh, it is?
the link is in the
Oh,
comments. How
you're
about that?
the
There we go,
best. And
guys.
you're driving? What are you doing?
I'm actually parked. I'm waiting in the school line,
Oh,
picking up
okay.
kids.
If you hear
Like, what the
if you hear
heck?
people like on the horn honking Mr. Kyle, it's because he's dropping comments into the thing for you guys.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kyle. So guys, that onboarding snapshot is available
Okay.
there. And if you get stuck, it's right there in the comments right now. You can go and grab it. You can install it in your own GHL account. It has a ton of great videos there that actually will walk everyone through each individual part of the onboarding process. And as Kyle said, the email series that we have with that Stacey is literally just keeping an eye on people. If they get stuck at any stage of that onboarding, we reach out and say, "Hey, are you stuck? Can we help you? Is there something that you're not on with?" But that funnel, that onboarding system, we've had so many people come back to us with praise on that. It literally has every single piece of the tool, every screen, every how to set up their AI prompts, their wallets, their people search, their company search, the whole thing. So it's all been done for you, white labeled without branding, so that you can push people to it straight away as soon as you've got it there.
That's this thing, not the email nurturing campaign thing.
That's correct. That's the funnel here with all of the different onboarding steps is part of what that
But the
is.
email nurturing campaign thing is only for enterprise people.
Yeah, and again, there's not a lot of depth to it. It's just literally monitoring that onboarding, saying, "Hey, I noticed you're on step 4 for 3 days," and it's just we set up if they're at any stage in the onboarding funnel for more than 48 hours, send an email and just ask them, "Are they stuck?"
Oh, okay.
So that's what that's doing. Yeah. So
okay. I was just looking to save time.
Yeah, great. We have again, if we can get them to go through the onboarding, we know that they'll be using the program at a higher rate. Cool.
Right.
Thanks, Stacey. That was a great question. Have we got a few more there from you?
Yeah. Also, in terms of some of the maybe expanding upon like the B2C positioning, where I know that's your favorite. I know you just like cringed. I saw it. Is there any place that you would like to direct us to for any materials? Kyle, do you have a link?
Absolutely. If you go to support.whitelabelsuite.com, and I cringed, I smiled because it is literally the question that we get asked the most of all. And if you come up to support.whitelabelsuite.com and say B2C as a search question, you'll find, does this lead gen software work for B2C? And there's a whole bunch of different strategies and different ways that you can use it with B2C. So there's also, if you come to our YouTube channel, which is at White Label Suite, which we can see there, our YouTube channel, I'll pop that into the chat box as well. The YouTube channel, if we go to B2C and search for B2C, we have covered this in a ton of videos. 3 strategies to level White Label Suite as a B2C tool. This is probably, I would say, my favorite one. There's quite a lot there. I'll copy that exact link. The YouTube channel is a great place to search for that kind of stuff as well. So the B2C question, again, one that we get asked a lot, and definitely knowing that for selling to your clients, it's an important thing to be able to tell them this is how to use a B2B tool to generate B2C leads and relationships. Those resources will 100% steer you in the right direction. Stacey?
Right. I just think it's part of that maybe even nurturing sequence too, to include some examples so that they can kind of start thinking outside of the box on that. Next question is, this has been sort of out there for a while. Any updates with regards to integrations with Pipedrive, ClickFunnels, and HubSpot?
ClickFunnels done. HubSpot, we've got a video coming this week using Zapier. Pipedrive, not yet. So ClickFunnels is done. We just need to do the video for it. HubSpot, I'm doing a video this week for a client using Zapier. So we haven't got the integration finalized, but we're showing how to do it through Zapier this week coming through. And Pipedrive, not yet. I think it's not going to be this quarter. I don't think Pipedrive. It'll be a time after that. So yeah, ClickFunnels is done. HubSpot is coming. Pipedrive, not yet.
Okay. And then the final one is just sort of because some people have been talking, and this is something that's happening in the US, and I'll forward you the link with regards to just the FTC and all this like click to cancel. and seeing how you guys were incorporating that sort of with regards to the product itself. Are you doing anything with that?
Click to cancel in what way? In terms of subscription management or?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, high level's trying to do something with it, but, people are like, it should be as easy to unsubscribe as it is for you to subscribe.
Yep.
And this is sort of what it is. And so this went into effect as of February, I think like the beginning part of February.
Yep. So we've got hopefully this week we'll see a Stripe subscription customer portal being available inside of the app itself. So if you do your subscriptions via the app, as in if you're using our built-in payment system, and let me direct you to where I'm talking about. If you are if you're in the app and you're creating packages, so in your white label area, you've got packages that are being created, and you're from that area, you're then I'm logged in as someone else, as we can see here, so I don't have access to my own system. But if you are creating packages in your white label section, if you are then doing your subscribers through the app, then we'll see a Stripe customer portal coming into the app this week, and that will allow people to cancel. So cancel, edit, update their payment credit cards on file. So we are adding the Stripe subscription customer portal into the app this week. The key piece of that, though, is that's only if you create subscriptions using the system that we've got. If you create subscriptions using any other method, such as Go High Level, you have to use their client portal, or you might go directly through PayPal or ClickBank or any other payment portal that's out there. Whatever payment portal you use will need to be where the clients can manage their subscription. So yes, we are building it into the app, or we're building Stripe's own customer portal into the app for exactly that reason. Should be there this week. But if you don't use our app system, you'll need to make that available for clients with whichever system you use.
I think people also need to understand too. I mean, at least my policy is that even if you cancel, you've already paid for leads. So they're still in your account. So you still have access to them until they get gobbled up. So it's not like
I disagree. I disagree. And it's because it's white label, it's completely yours, right? So you can do whatever you want to do. But I disagree with the I paid for leads and therefore I have access until forever. My argument is you paid for access to the software. So just to give an example, if I've got 5,000 credits on my account, but I'm month to month, as in I pay for access to the software, but I cancel today and my next payment is due on the 20th. For example, this is just my own personal thinking, Stacey. My account is due on the 20th, but I cancel today. So technically I've got 22 days of access left that I've paid for. Now, if I get to the end of that period and I've still got 2,000 credits left, I no longer can access the software. I'm not paying my monthly subscription for the credits. Again, this is just my opinion. You guys, the cool thing is this is your business, right? You get to brand it yourself. You get to set up your own pricing. You get to manage your subscribers however you want to. But my personal opinion is you pay month to month or you pay for the year, you pay for time and access to the system, and the credits are part of that monthly access. So you're paying for access to the system. Again, that's my opinion. Now, if you have a client who makes a big fuss about that, you also have the opportunity to manage that via your own subscription channel as well. So you can jump in and reset their time. Yeah. So you can jump in and go to subscriptions, click on their name, click on the pencil, change their subscription time. So if they're giving you grief, you can say, well, I'll give you another month or something like that. But again, you get to run your own business. My personal opinion is you pay month to month.
No, that's a good idea. I mean, because I was like, this guy could like sit here and keep this thing open for like 2 years. And I'm like, this is a pain in the, you know what?
Yeah.
So at some point it's got to expire, but okay. Thank you so much for talking that.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. And again, it's for me, it's personal opinion, right?
Yeah, no, it's also just setting up the policies because it was like, this was like a newer product for me. And so it's kind of like you do certain things for your first people that come through that maybe wouldn't necessarily as you sort of get more and more comfortable with what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And great question. And this exactly what this forum is for.
Okay, thank you.
Again, in my opinion, I will say to somebody, you're paying for access to the software. We include credits for you as part of that access, but you're not paying for credits, you're paying for access to the system. And we include the credits as part of the time that you've paid for to be able to use the system. Great question, Stacey.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Kate, I can see you've got your hand up there. I did promise Mark that I will jump across to Mark's question in the chat box. So I'm just trying to keep everything in order there. So I'm going to go Mark, and then I'm going to go Kate. All right. So Mark says, wondering about sub accounts and best practices with GHL. Do you put everything into the agency sub account or do its own for leads? Mark, are you still with us? Can I ask you to unmute and see if you can talk me through that question? Because I'm not quite sure what you're meaning there. Let me just ask Mark to unmute and we will jump across.
Hi, guys.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good. So just conceptually, I'm going to have my brand that's going to sell GHL. So do I put all of the white label sub-account stuff right into that same brand sub-account that's selling the GHL too? Or is it better to have, like a leads sub-account that would be different? So I wasn't too certain as to that interaction amongst sub-accounts.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Depends on where you want to keep the database, to be honest. So, give you two answers to that question, Mark. The key question is, where do you want your customers to show up? All right. So for us, our main GHL account is called White Label Suite. So our customers, our database is in a sub account called White Label Suite because that's what our business is. That's what our main customer is. However, as you guys know, we created a demonstration version of what you have to sell under our own brand called Prospect Falcon so that we could demonstrate that. And for us, Prospect Falcon database is completely separate. So we have a sub account called Prospect Falcon purely for account management, right? Now we could have kept them in the same database and then segregated our marketing messages. So only White Label Suite emails go out to White Label Suite customers and leads Prospect Falcon emails go out to Prospect Falcon customers. But for us, it was simply a matter of creating something that was easy to manage. So we ourselves decided that our brand of Prospect Falcon is a standalone system out there on its own. We created it as a separate sub account. However, if you are selling, let's say you're selling your leads tool plus GHL plus consulting plus whatever, and it's all part of the same package, then it makes sense to kind of have your customers in one database, one place. Right. So in terms of things like snapshots and landing pages and funnels and that kind of stuff that you might use to sell the leads tool, again, it all comes back down to where do I want to be able to manage my customers? And also thinking long term as well, Mark. So if you would sell one division of your company separate from the others in 3 years' time, then it makes sense to separate that database now. But if you're building your company as an entire framework, then I would keep everything together. So the real pivotal point of the question is, where do I want my customers to live? If I want all of my customers in one place, then I would create everything in my main agency account within GHL. If I want to segregate, these customers are separate from these customers, and I don't want to do that by tags. I want to have a completely standalone database with potentially the option to sell that later on. I want to sell my consulting division. I want to sell my white label software division. If you want to separate it later on, then I would create separate sub-accounts for it. So it really depends on where you want to manage your customers. Does that help?
Yeah, it helps a lot. But
Okay.
I think I want them all together now. I was just a little bit worried about too many snapshots making, that main business, a real quagmire.
All right. So that's a really great question and a slightly different one. So when we started with GHL, 5 years ago, we got super excited about snapshots because they're amazing. And we threw them all into the same account. And we went, wow, here's a lawyer's one and an accountant's one and all of these snapshots went in there. And then we went, oh my God, it's like a hoarder's mess in here. I can't see anything because all the custom values are labeled the same. And now it's a freaking nightmare. So my own personal advice on snapshots is because GHL is amazing and you can have unlimited sub accounts. My own personal advice is bring in the snapshot, create a standalone sub account to deploy that snapshot, and then go, that works. I get it. I see what this is all about. And then you can either put it into your main account, or you can cherry pick the bits out of it. And you can go, I love that automation, copy to sub account. I love that funnel, copy to sub account. That's going to conflict. No, I don't. So again, personal advice with snapshots is they're absolutely amazing. They give you a complete done for you dinner on the table laid out in one click. It's amazing. The trouble is, if dinner on the table's got 27,000 different courses all put on top of there, then nothing tastes good, right? So again, personal advice on snapshots: bring them all into your main agency account, but deploy them into a separate sub account, and then go and look at it. What's here? What does this actually do? And if you really want to get technical, if you've got multiple snapshots that do have conflicts, you can put it in a sub account, go and edit it, turn that sub account into a snapshot, which has got the edits in it, and then put it in your main account. But yeah, snapshots mixed together is a recipe for a mess. Individual, find out what it is, bring it in piece by piece.
I call that like a sandbox, so that you're going to tinker with this.
Yeah, but again, the key with your sandbox is have your sandbox have 20 different sub accounts for 20 different snapshots. Because if you put them all in the same sandbox, you don't know what's what. So do one at a time until you know what's involved, what's individually in this one, and then you can make that choice to bring it in.
Good coaching. Thank you.
You're welcome, mate. You also had a follow-up there question. When do you migrate the lead and enriched data of the lead from the white label suite over to the GHL CRM? And does the lead info ever migrate back from the CRM into white label suite so it can be rich with things like LinkedIn address and build the AI insights for custom fields? Cool. Great question. So let me talk this through, and then Kate, I'm straight to you. And then I've got Kevin and then Brennan with hands up, and we should be good to go. Brennan, have you got your hand up? Yes, you do. Okay, cool. And then Sukumar as well. Fantastic. Awesome. So Mark's question on enrichment, Kate, Kevin, Brennan, Sukumar, and anybody else who wants to ask questions as well. All right. So just talk this through for a second. What Mark's asking about is built into the white label suite tool as of right now, this minute, is a massively valuable piece of the software that a lot of people skip. And it's called lead enrichment. What is that? What's that all about? Within white label suite, what we do, for those of you who are kind of reasonably new to the whole thing, is we enrich data. We have, and let me share my screen and show you what I mean. I might have any single business name or website. So let me go and grab one here and show you what I mean. So this company, Action Coach, which people know about, or Coach's Coach is here as well. We have their name, their business name. We have information about that company. But we have enriched this data. Let me see if I can find one that's got a few more examples here with my, that's my demo list, but that's fine. So I've got things like Facebook profiles and Twitter and Instagram profiles. I've got things like employee counts. I've got things like web tech, so I can see if they're running WordPress or they've got Facebook pixels installed. I've got emails from that company about people who work there. I've got a lot of data, as well as the fact that I can run AI over the top of this data, and I can find out even more about them. So I've taken the name of a company and the website of a company, and I've got a heck of a lot more information about them in my system, right? So within the program, this lead enrichment allows you to bring in that company from any source, let our system enrich it, and then send it back to the CRM. Why would that be valuable? And I want to give you guys a massive sales tool right here, okay? If you're talking to a larger organization, this is probably not your local business, but this is a larger organization. If you can say this to them, Mr. Customer, what if every single time anybody new comes into your database, I can let AI enrich that data with one very specific purpose. So they come into your existing business. You're running Salesforce or HubSpot or Pipedrive or whatever it is you're running. It doesn't have to be GHL. You're running an amazing database right now, and you've got 10,000 people in that database. Over the next 3 months, we're going to take every single person that ever comes into your database, and I'm going to give you all of their social media profiles, all of their employee information, all of their web technology information. Plus, I'm going to get AI to analyze that company, give me hotspot, pain points for that type of business. I'm going to bring all of that together. Why would that be valuable? Because then in 3 months' time, I'm going to export a CSV file of all your customers and all of that data with each customer. What am I going to do then? I'm going to take that CSV file and I'm going to drop it into ChatGPT. And I'm going to say, this is my existing customer information and profile. I want to grow my business. What should I do next? And because ChatGPT is amazing at analyzing patterns and structures, it's going to see common threads between all of your customers and be able to suggest for you, based on this, here's your next 12 months of social media posts. Based on this, here's the next big markets that you should be going into. Based on this, here's how you can do your messaging, right? Now, I can only ask ChatGPT to do that if I give it the data to work from. So, Mr. Customer, as I sit here right now for you, how about I set up a system where for, pick a price, 25 cents per record, I'm going to enrich every single data point that comes into your business, and I'm going to give it back to you so that you have profile information to be able to work with, right? So what Mark's talking about there with the question is, how does this work? How does the enrichment of this data work? Okay, so I just wanted to give you the context first. You guys know my little soapbox gets worn out when I'm standing on here on my videos, but all right. So how does this work? Inside of the system, we have the ability to do that lead enrichment on an inbound company record. And we set it up here in our autopilot search. Okay. So autopilot has two different modes. Autopilot has outbound mode, which is basic. In other words, every single day, run a search for me and find 20 new leads and push them into my CRM. That's outbound. Every day, find me new information and push it across to my CRM, okay? But this one, based on a webhook, is inbound. And what that means is I can send data to the system, get that enrichment to happen, and the system will send it back, all right? So how does this work? I'm going to call this inbound enrichment demo, okay? And I'm going to say, okay, first of all, I've got to have a list to save this inbound stuff onto. So I think I've got one there. Yep, my import list, or I can create a new list. You guys have seen how to do that in the software before, just as simple as giving it a name. So when they come in, put them somewhere. Great. Next, what's going to happen is now it gives me a non-techie person's worst nightmare, right? Oh my God, I've got to do stuff that looks like really coded cornflakes. I don't get what this is. Webhooks are the way that two programs talk together. So what this is giving me is a way that I can take data from my source and put it into this program. That's what a webhook is. So I want to show you how to set this up, and I'll use GHL as my source for this particular example. Okay, so I've got a webhook here waiting to come across, all right, and some information. And there's only one piece of information that's required, and that's the website, okay? So I can create a webhook here. I'm just going to go to my demo company and mark this as my sandbox where there is a whole bunch of mess in here. But I'm going to create this. So we're going to create a new little automation here, and I'm going to show you what the webhook system looks like. And as much as it's a non-techie person's nightmare, it genuinely is copy and paste, okay? So I'm going to create a brand new automation, And so this is my enrich my data, right? Now, I've got a webhook. This is an action. So it is action of webhook. And you can see that GHL gives us that as the option. So I want to send a webhook. Cool. And it's asking me for a URL. Where do I get that URL? Back to where we create it from, you'll see it's the URL. So I just copy that and pop it in there. Amazing. Now, next, it's got something here called an authorization token. And it says, please send with authorization token in the header. Okay, so back here in my GHL, I've got something called a header. And I just have to add that in. Now, this is important. You need it to be case sensitive. So this specifically says authorization hyphen token, capital A, capital T. I need that in there. And the value is that one. So I want to copy that and pop it in there. Cool. Now, the only thing I've got left to do is get some of this information from my system and send it across. And the only thing that's required is the website. So here's how it goes. I want my custom data. I'm going to add an item. It is, again, copy and paste, lowercase website. Okay, like that. And where do I get the website from? Well, I get it from my contact website. So my GHL record, the person that's in that system has a website. Okay, cool. So now I could send across first name, last name, city, state, postcode, street, okay, email. So I can send that across like that. Probably not a bad idea to send email and again, get it from my contact email, just like that. All right. So I can send across any of that data, but what I only need is one piece, is the website. So now I've literally just set up an action that says, when something happens, send the data and enrich it. Okay. Now, what do you mean by something happens, Walt? How do I make something happen? Well, that can be absolutely anything. Imagine this, a Stripe transaction, a purchase. Okay. Somebody buys something from me. I get their website, I send it, I enrich the data and send it back. And now I've got an enriched customer profile. Happiness. What about just even an opt-in form? What about a Facebook ad, a LinkedIn lead? Okay. So whatever my trigger is, it could be as simple as a form. When a form is submitted into my system, and that form is my, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 opt-in form, whatever, I'm giving him a free download of something. So long as I've got the website on that form, it's going to send it across to this webhook and it's going to enrich this data. Happiness. So now I've got something massively valuable. If I can get somebody to give me their website, I can run this program all day, baby. This is going to be amazing, right? So I'm nearly finished with this setup. I've got a webhook. I understand now where to put that. It's in my webhook action inside of my GHL or Zapier, or whatever you want to use. Okay. So I've created a little automation here. Once the webhook is triggered, the system will gather the data, including social profiles, emails, and more, and move to the next steps. Click continue to add the next steps. So the next steps can be, do I also want to run that multi-tier enrichment on the employees? So if John from ABC Insurance comes in, do I want to enrich the employee data from ABC Insurance? Do I want to find out their emails and socials and all that kind of stuff? How many employees per company? Because there might be 500 of them. Be careful of my credits. Just give me 2. Try and, get a little bit more data there, right? Great. Next, AI. What AI research do I want to happen? What AI enrichment is going on here? What summary prompt do I want to run? Do I have a subject line I want to create, a DM script? Do I want to create an intro as well? So I can run my AI analysis. So not only just static data, but all my AI stuff as well. And then, cool, once you're done, send it back to the CRM, again, with a custom webhook if I'm sending it into HubSpot. All right. Or just put it straight back into my GHL database. All right. And how many emails per record? So, Mark, to answer your question, you can set up the enrichment to happen automatically. As soon as something comes into my database, send it, enrich it, and this will automatically send it back. Okay. Now, your question was, can you make that happen at another time, somewhere in the future? Yes, so long as you trigger it. Right. So if I've already got contacts in my database, I might set up my trigger when I add the tag of enrich, do this action. And then I could just grab all my existing people, add the tag of enrich. It's going to send them all, send it back. Okay. Now, guys, to make this work, one thing's really important is your credits. Okay. The amount of credits that you have on your system and your auto top up wallet. Because if you're going to run this, or if a client's going to run this, you want to make sure that they have their top up wallet. Now, you get to profit from every time they do this. Okay. So you're going to set up your credits to have a margin on it. You're going to encourage your client to put their card on file. Then you can set up the enrichment and it runs all day enriching their profiles and you're making profit on every credit. Okay. So again, long answer to a short question, but Mark, does that help? And guys, can you just give me some feedback? Is that a great, powerful tool that you be able to talk about with your clients and help you sell more things? Cool.
Yeah, it's fabulous. One other question. I guess it was hard coded as to the company name. If I'm only have an email address, it won't be able to perform this. Is that right?
No, that's incorrect. If you've only got an email address, I would use the people search to do it.
Okay.
So you've also got this enrichment on a people search basis, and you can bring across, so people demo. You can do this if you're trying to do it with email addresses, use this one, and people search doesn't have a webhook. Okay, so I need to set up a webhook. Cool, still getting through. Great.
Okay.
Okay, and here set potential email as main, get phone numbers, and go with that. And that will it only needs, if I go back to my webhook screen. There we go. LinkedIn URL is required, but you can also use it with your email address. So if you've got your, hang on a sec. I'll get my team to have a look at this, but you might need to do this one manually. Let me just confirm my suspicion here. I thought we could do it on the API, but I might need to get my guys to add this. You can do it here with the email address, bringing it in here, I believe. Bulk, import, CSV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me just ask my team, because I thought that was email as well, but it might be LinkedIn profile. I just need to get them to confirm. I know it's on our board. So making my notes, email, address, lead, enrich. It is there. I just thought it was in our live system, but it might be still in our testing stage, Mark. Cool. So email address coming. Okay. 15 minutes left. Goodness. Sorry, guys. Going too long. Done. You're amazing. Thank you, mate. Cool. Snapshots. Dia is letting people some great advice on Snapshots. She's the GHL queen. So amazing. Cool. Upload and enrich. Great. Kate says, I could kiss you right now. Kate, accepted. Thanks. Appreciate it. Awesome. How much do you recommend to charge to do this for your clients? Stacy, as much as you can without embarrassing. I love Homosi's example on pricing. Ask as much as you can until the point where you're cringing, right? And the value is different, right? How much is the value of that data enrichment to a local accountant? Nah. How much is the value of that data to an international corporation? Massive, right? So we set our credit price internally at 25 cents. Your cost is 12 cents, right? So anything above 12 cents, you're profiting. So you also want to make sure that you take into account your GHL usage and that kind of stuff. But your cost is 12 cents. So we set ours at 25. We've got some people that have set it as high as 50 cents, but you get the opportunity to do that. What are some more selling points to use as far as how customers can use that enriched data? So just because it's on the same question, and then we'll get to Kate. I think the real benefit of that, Keck, is that up until you provide that to the client, it's invisible to them. They have somebody who bought something from them. Great, amazing. But who are they? There's that old cliche which says only 50% of your advertising is effective. The trouble is knowing which 50%, right? The more data you can give the more accurately your clients can make their next moves, right? If I think that my customers are corporate insurance agents, and then 3 months goes by and my AI goes, no, actually, your customers are marine specialists who sell boats and luxury watercraft. It's like, whoa, does that not change the direction of my advertising? 100%. So the selling points on how to use that data is, until you know what's happening with your clients and your data, it's invisible to you. And everything else you do is hope. Yeah. When you've got visibility, you can make better moves as a company. If you've only got $10,000 to invest in advertising, it's great to be able to put that $10,000 where you're going to get your best results, right? And only data gives you the ability to have that foresight. So cool. No, Jeff just asked Google's effort about web scraping. Google themselves are the world's largest web scrapers. But to answer your question, Jeff, we don't scrape data, as Kyle just said. All of the data that comes into White Label Suite is purchased under license through 100% compliant APIs, including from Google for some of our data. So we don't scrape anything. We buy the data through compliant APIs. And that's a really great question. That's a great answer for you to know when your clients ask you, where does the data come from? All of the data is purchased through 100% compliant APIs. All righty. Kate, finally getting to Kate. I'm so sorry. It's my questions are too long. Well, my answers are too long. So Kate asking to unmute, and then we'll go to Kevin, we'll go to Brennan, and we'll go to Sukumar. And any other questions, guys? I might not have time, but we'll get as many as we can. Go for it, Miss Davies.
Thank you. Well, lovely to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So, I signed up for the whole enterprise thing right at the start, before you went to Dallas.
Okay.
And I've done bugger all with it.
Oh no.
But there's been reasons and stuff, and I really wasn't sure where I was going with a lot of stuff. Haven't been in many of these sessions, and I kind of realized that things have moved on a bit. So I want to keep this brief. So basically, my white label is called ultimateleadkit.com. So that is a sub account within your GHL. Now, I want to be sort of one of the enterprise partners. I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to set this up myself for my clients. Should Ultimate Lead Kit be on its own GHL rather than a sub account of yours? You're muted, Walt. You're muted.
I am, man. Everybody was celebrating there. They've been trying to mute me for years. To answer the question, Kate, great question. So when we set up the enterprise program for you, if you're an enterprise partner, what we give you is a completely self-contained system. And the reason we say self-contained is because for our enterprise clients, we also do customer support. Hey, Vic Mueller, nice to see you, man. So we do customer support. What does that mean? It means that when somebody buys your version of the leads tool from you, they buy Ultimate Lead Kit, they've got access to Ultimate Lead Kit, and they've got a question. When they ask that question, it comes to our team. All right. So we do that customer support for you, which means as an enterprise package, everything that you have is completely self-contained in a box, 100%, right? So your question then is, shouldn't I have that on my own GHL agency account? We can't do that support if that's the case. So we maintain that. So this system is built and ready for you to make sales of your leads tool under the brand of Ultimate Lead Kit. Okay. So this is a standalone system that sells this. Now, what you were saying is you want to do this for clients. You want to build this. We talk a lot about the AI piece, the 4-bot system, you want to be able to go talk to a client, show them the 4-bot system and sign them up under your own brand and build that amazing system for them. Yeah. So this then becomes your best example of a working demo, right? So you can trigger your callback here. You can demonstrate to them the AI piece and the callback and the voice and all that kind of stuff. You can demonstrate to them, this is bot 1 of the 4. The other bots, we've got, AI plugged in here on live chat, can answer any questions for you. So this is your ultimate demo if you want to sell your own four-bot system. It's your ultimate demo to sell GHL, your own services, all that kind of stuff as well. So this is your own business in a box standing here. You've got access to it in terms of customers. All the customers are yours. You can jump in and change the emails. You can put your own spin on the page if you want to. It's yours. You own it. But the reason we have it in our sub account is so we can do that customer support for you. All right. And also as an enterprise customer, we're happy to make, minor changes and edits. Hey, can you change this and change that? Yep, cool. We did that as well. Major stuff we're going to say, cool, you can log in and do it. But if it's, hey, I didn't like that. Can you change it? Yeah, cool. Of course we can. So it's standalone. And a lot of the time we have our enterprise clients going, yeah, but when they buy the program, I also want them as a customer in my GHL. Like I'm fine for this to be the marketing piece and all of those are just contacts and prospects and whatever. But when they become a customer, I want them in my GHL. I want them in my, cool, great, no problems. Just set us up a webhook between the two GHL accounts. And every time someone becomes a customer, we can push it across to any other sub account that you want. Yeah. So, we keep this as a standalone so that we can manage the client for you. But if you want to push your customers over to a different sub account when they buy, happy to do it. Easy done. Just again, set us up a webhook in where you want the customers to end up and we'll do that for you.
Okay, so so you push them into my GHL and then I would build the four-bot system myself there.
Yeah, so you definitely can. And the four-bot system, like a lot of our clients, a lot of our enterprise clients, we've got a sales page for the four-bot system in this version. And I think, not sure if that one's been turned on for you, but let's just have a look. Four-bot system, I think it is as a URL. We can always go and have a look. Four-bot system. Oh, there it is. It's on the link. Duh. There you go. So we've got a sales page for the four-bot system for you. Okay. So that's all been built for you as well.
Yeah.
But we take care of your customer support for the leads tool, but you are building your own four-bot system. So this is just a sales page that we've created for you so you can use it. But in terms of building it for your customers, yeah, you're going to do that in your own GHL agency account.
Okay. And the other option is that if somebody wants to buy the four-bot system, I could get your team to do it.
No, we are completely at capacity. However,
that's fine. That's fine.
No, but we already have some amazing people in our community that have gone through the training and are builders. So we've got Sarah and Mika, we've got Laura who's on the call with us here. We've got a whole bunch of our team that have gone through the training. So we cannot take on any more clients with four-bot. We are completely at capacity. But the great news is there's now 5 or 6 different companies that are trained to be the builders. So they'll do the fulfillment for you. And if you hit up our team, support@whitelabelsuite.com, and just ask for the contact details of the builders.
It's fine. I want to be one of those builders. I want to go through that training and be one of those people.
Fantastic. Well, as soon as you do, we'll add you to the experts list. So you'll be one of the people that we send the next time somebody asks us that question. Can you build it for us? I'll say no, but Kate is part of our team. So definitely, if you want to go through the training, you can do that. Let us know that you're up to speed and we'll give you a little test to pass. Once you pass it, we'll put you on our experts page and you can be a builder that other people can refer business to as well.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of where I was going, and I wasn't sure if I needed to be in a. That's why I wondered if I needed to have my stuff in a different place. But that's cool.
Yeah. So your leads tool ready to go. Make as many sales as you can. But everything after the sale of that leads tool will be in your own GHL account.
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh, one other thing. I know you've got lots of other questions. I've got a client who wants leads of architects in London. So I've put it through the system. I know there's hundreds of architects in London. I've got 19.
Yeah, so there's a video, I again, in the same way as the B2B, B2C question, there's so many times I've been asked that question that we recorded a video called Expanding Your Search.
Okay,
and
cool.
it's let me just give you the world's quickest way to access that. So if you let me come into White Label Suite or go from here. Okay, cool. If you actually hit up our support or training material, training center here, You will
I'm in it.
be able to come down and let's go to generate leads. And I think it might actually be in, I'll just go straight to support. Expanding your search is the place that you're looking for. And we talk about that specifically. The way the program works, expanding your search, how to expand your search results. There you go. We walk you through exactly how to expand your search. And there's a ton of different ways. The short version is that the system works best at a specific location level, meaning if I do a search here and I go, so what were you looking for, Kate? Architects in London.
Architects in London.
Architects. You chose a difficult word for an Australian to spell. Architect in London. All right. And we go, cool. So which London? Lots of Londons. And this is part of the expanding the search. There's lots of different Londons that you can look at. Okay. So let's go London, GB.
I don't want to delay you because I've got that page up. I can watch the video.
Have a bit of a look.
Other questions.
Have a bit of a look, but the expand your search is the key so that you can move around the map and focus on a specific area and you'll get tons and tons more results
Cool.
by making sure that you use that expand your search option. Cool. Great question, Kate.
Thank you.
And that, by the way, the expand your search is part of the onboarding funnel. So as your customers are coming through, they'll get at that answer as well. Thank you, Kate. Amazing to see you. All right, Mr. Kevin Kale, let's ask you to unmute, sir. Thanks for waiting so patiently, man. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate all that you do. Thank you so much.
No probs.
So I have a number of
I might mute Kate there for a second.
And automations. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go for it. Start again, mate.
Not a problem. So I have a number of white label suite workflows and automations, snapshots that you've shared. And I don't know what is the best way to leverage those. And just to give you a sense, I'm looking at, I have one called Onboarding, and I've customized the various training modules. So that's definitely one I'm going to use. I have another called 20 Free Leads, another one called Client Success Cold Email Campaign, another one called Inbound Lead System, and another one called Generate Sales Presentation Lead Tool.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
so I just want to make sure that I'm sort of not, first off, I don't want my members to get emails for stuff that is like, why am I getting this email that Kevin hasn't built out yet?
Right.
Because the links aren't going anywhere. There's no video attached. And then like, I don't need to do too much. I just want to make sure that if I have them on the onboarding automation, what else would you recommend as being a priority?
Yeah, great question. So, in order of those snapshots, the 20 free leads was the one that we started this whole campaign with White Label Suite and GHL 4 years ago, with the idea of 20 free leads, and it's a marketing angle snapshot. So the 20 free lead snapshot is the way it works is it literally invites your target audience to come and chat to you about lead generation, and it offers them 20 free leads just to jump on a call with you. And now with our credit model that we have, what we call our toll booth method, you can give someone a free account with 20 credits on it. They can test it out and they can put their wallet on file and they can buy more credits from you as they go. So 20 free leads is a marketing angle. Our early success stories, guys like Brad Elias built up to $1,500 monthly recurring in their first 30 days with us by simply taking the concept of 20 free leads and dropping it into business groups and saying, hey, brand new tool. If you'd like 20 free leads, come here and check it out. And he really rocketed quickly. So 20 free leads is a marketing tool. The next ones, we had the client fulfillment snapshot. Now that snapshot is after somebody buys the program for you. If you want them to start outbound marketing, and as always, guys, you need to be compliant in your marketing and what you're telling your clients to do for your own local laws, etc. But if you want to give your clients a way of starting that outbound marketing, the client fulfillment snapshot is that one. Very simply,
is that client success cold email campaign or client success inbound lead system?
Okay, so that's the client cold email system is that one. And
Okay.
it's very simple, Kevin. It's literally just when a lead comes in, put them into an email sequence. It's nothing more than that. And guys, please, for everybody here on the call and for anybody who ever catches up with us, we are a software company. We're not a marketing company. So those templates of that emails, you would be well and truly the right thing to do to tweak those emails, right? To get in there and, get the own voice of the client. It's literally, it's something, if you've got any GHL knowledge and skill, you can build an email sequence in 20 seconds, but it's just a template to help you get started. The cold email enrich system is the one that I showed just a few moments ago, where you can set up an inbound lead can come across to their webhook, enrich and go back to them. Yeah. So it's again, simply a template that has an automation waiting for a trigger, sending across the webhook. You'll have to put in the custom values of the webhook key and stuff that we showed you a few moments ago. But that's what that one's all about. There's also another one there, which has got a sales page demonstration. And again, that's to help you get up and selling quickly. It's got that one is for you to be able to put up a sales page with a white label demo video. So it gives you a funnel that you can, hey, I've got my new leads tool. Here's my sales page. Ta-da. Put your buy button on the bottom of it and you're good to go. So 20 free leads is marketing. Client fulfillment is the email snapshot. Funnels are in place for your sales page. And the onboarding is after they've purchased, being able to get them using the tool and know all of the different bits and pieces there.
And so all of my members are on the toll booth method.
Beautiful.
And so I have it as part of my larger offering. I just include White Label Suite to all my members. And the angle there, of course, is that they'll leverage it, take advantage of it, and then I'll have that sort of rebilling when they purchase credits. How do I monitor my income on the rebilling credits?
Yeah, so what's going to happen is the transaction itself, the split of that transaction is almost invisible to you. So it'll be in your Stripe account, Kevin. So let's say, for example, talking it through, somebody puts their credit card on file and they set up auto billing. And when their account gets below 100 credits, top them back up to 500 credits, saved and done. So what's going to happen is, let's keep the numbers even. They've got down to 100 credits and it goes ding. And they've just bought 400 credits to take them back up to 500. Got down to 100, take me back up. They've purchased 400 credits. What you'll see in your Stripe account is whatever price you've set it at, let's say 25 cents to keep the numbers even, 400 credits at 25 cents, you'll see, what is that? $100 or $1,000? 400. $100. Great. Fantastic. Thanks. You'll see $100 go into your Stripe account, and immediately the very same split millisecond, you'll see 400 times 12 cents come out. So you'll see $48 come out. So, and that'll come back to White Label Suite. So it's an instant transaction. $100 will go in, $48 will be paid as your cost of those credits, and you're left with the margin as profit in your Stripe account.
Okay, so in essence, I will see either one or a couple of transactions. And do they say WLS? Do they say White Label?
So your clients will see your business name. So if you're Kevin Cahill Consulting, on their credit card statement, it'll show up as Kevin Cahill Consulting, whatever you've put in as your business name. And if you click on the transaction itself in Stripe, you'll see the income from your client, and then the cost going out to White Label Suite or Comet Suite. I'm not sure which one is showing up in the background, but I think it's White Label Suite. Yes, it is. White Label Suite will be showing up as the supplier.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for explaining all of that. Are there other snapshots that I should be aware of other than the ones that we just went over that I should be grabbing from White Label Suite?
We did release one last week, which has got a new sales page template. We worked really hard to get the Prospect Falcon page looking nice. We're really proud of it. And we gave that to you guys as a snapshot last week on last week's call. If you want that one, hit up support. The guys will send you across the link. I think we've even put it into the members area now. So if you go to support.whitelabelsuite.com and type in the word snapshots, you'll see all of those replies and answers popping up there as well.
Very good. Thank you, Walt. I appreciate you.
Anytime, man. Great to see you. Thanks so much.
You too.
So, guys, I'm a little bit over time, but I absolutely promised to answer the questions from Brennan. Dude, I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. Thank you so much for your patience, and Sukumar as well. And guys, if you've got questions and you haven't had a chance to ask them, please. Oh, Kevin, that snapshot was just added to the chat by Kyle. So you can grab that from the link. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to ask your question, please drop into support.whitelabelsuite.com. The guys are there and we're happy to help. And you can also add it to chat. And if we can't get to it, we'll create a ticket and come back to you. Mr. Brennan, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking this.
No problems, man.
I think mine are some smaller, quick ones, just 4 quickies.
Fire
so
away.
1, 4-bot system training. How do we find that? 2,
it is in your members area. If you're a current client, it is about to be a paid program. So if you are a current existing client of White Label Suite and you go to your members area, which is community.whitelabelsuite.com, answering Laura's questions as well. Where do I get my snapshots and stuff? Community.whitelabelsuite.com. Am I sharing my screen? I hope so. Yep. Coming into community.whitelabelsuite.com, you will, let's see this one. From here, go to, come on, GHL, please load for me. All right, from here, come up to the top right-hand corner, the 9 dots, and go to courses. And from courses, if you go all the way down the bottom, I believe, you will find the custom 4-bot build training right there. That's about to be a $1,000 training program, but you guys have got access to it. So it is there ready for you. And other things, snapshots are here. This is a course program that we created for you guys. There's lots and lots of different training in here as well. All of our weekly calls are here as well, guys. So we drop in our weekly Q&As and stuff like that. You'll be able to grab them all here. Question
awesome.
1.
Yeah, the next 3 are super quickies. Identity resolution by web page. Basically grabbing, some assortment of folks touching the web page. Are you guys working on that or anything?
Yep. So we are working with another data provider. We've been talking to 3 of them since Dallas. We've chosen one. We've picked them, and it will be available in the White Label Suite system. I hope in this next quarter. Yeah, it should be. Everything's done. The API is in place. It should be this quarter. And that will allow you to have a gray labeled pixel that you can give to your clients, and they can have data enrichments happening from people who land on their site. So it is coming.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because
that's also going to be intent data as well. Just kind of taking the list, the surprise factor for you guys. Intent data, meaning find me all the people who are searching for garage door installers in Dallas, and you'll be able to set that up. You'll be that data is extremely expensive in terms of what we're used to paying. So 12 cents for a company record or that kind of stuff. But if you can find somebody who's looking for this keyword in this location right now, it's cheaper than pay-per-click. You'll be able to put your margins on top of it, as always, but that's coming as part of the same update, Brennan. So pixel-based data, website-based data, intent, search-based data, US only, guys, unfortunately.
Awesome.
Unfortunately for the Australians. Fortunately for the US.
I would add in there because that's all bundled in the same area.
Cool.
Question, LinkedIn. Let's see. Scrap that. We already got that. And then the influencer part. I was playing with it and not get it to work right, maybe because I don't understand its parameters, but I'm reaching out. Let's say, okay, I want to find influencers that are keyworded here, doing
perfect.
things.
So one of the things with the influencer search is that it's really specific and very easy to over filter. So let me show you the best way to use it. If you come into a lead search and we're doing a new search for influencers, if I'm looking, we start with a location. You've got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but we start with a location. So I might go New York, all right? And we say, okay, find me in New York State. And this is the field that I use, but you can use filters like hashtags and followers. Something to know about the influencer search is it will give you the highest follower count first. So unless you're looking for low followers, and there's really good reasons for that, if you want people who are kind of 3rd tier influencers and only got 1,000 followers because part of your offering is helping them improve, I wouldn't use the followers filter unless you're specifically wanting to take out the top performers. But if we go location and then use the description as your keyword spot. So if I'm looking for, I don't know, Bitcoin investor, all right, or something like that, whatever the keywords are going to be. So health and wellness, I don't know, I'm just using whatever. And adding them to a list. Literally, I've done nothing else here in my filters because it's really easy to knock people out just by one number or one age group, right? So cool, let's go. Okay, great. So now here we go. These are followers that are Bitcoin investors, and you can see it's from highest to lowest follower count. And from here we go, okay, they've all been added to the list. And so that means I've got them, and I can go and verify just by clicking to their Instagram profile. Does this guy talk about the keyword that I put in? And you'll be able to see, okay, Bitcoin, all right, investor, these are the words popping up there. And from here, now you can start to enrich this data by choice. So you can come in and say, okay, look, I'll use one that I've got already. This guy, I'm interested in, for whatever reason, he fits my model. When you say tick and you enrich that data, you get this little light bulb that pops up here. And that enriched data will show up under that light bulb. And this is where you can start to see, okay, great. This is their followers. I can see the hashtags that they're using. I can see the posts that they've made. I can see the information of their followers. I can add their followers to my list from this screen. So I can say, ooh, that guy also I want to add, and I can add him to my list. Okay, so I can add from their followers and do the multiple stages of enrichment and going through. But in a search, it's really easy to knock them out. The best field to use, in my opinion, is this description. That'll pull from their bio. All right, unless you're looking for people who are specifically talking about a hashtag. So I could say investing as a hashtag, in which case I could use that one there. Yeah. So description pulls from their bio, which is typically, what you want to get their most talked about stuff from their bio, or you can use hashtags, or you can use any of the other filters, but it's really easy to knock them out. So my advice is be broad at the start and let your enrichment of the data fine tune your result there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's
Pleasure.
awesome.
Good to go. Hey guys, don't forget, you own a white label license to everything that we've showed here. So the cool thing is you've got that to talk about on your next Facebook Live to your audience so they can come and buy your leads tool off you. All right. So jump in, use the tool, show it off, because this lead enrichment, autopilot search, influencer data, this kind of stuff is what's going to help you make sales. So get in and talk about it because it's your brand. You have this software under your own system. Amazing. Brendan, thank you so much, sir. Last question for now, unless we've got anything that's coming through in the chat. Mr. Sukumar, let me just ask Sukumar to unmute and we will be ready to go. Sukumar, thank you so much for your patience, man.
Thank you, guys. You do so much for us. Hey, look, just a quick question. Any important lessons to be learned from the past in HubSpot integration?
Sorry.
Yeah, I got to be careful with something. I got to integrate HubSpot.
We're looking to integrate HubSpot. Yeah, there is one thing to be careful of that is completely the first thing to know with HubSpot is that HubSpot charges per contact, right? And that's really important to know. HubSpot have got tiers, and you can quickly punch your client over a tier threshold, and their bill will jump, and you need to be careful. So HubSpot's amazing. I'm only just really diving into it right now as we're doing that integration. But it's super important to know that that HubSpot is a pay per contact model. So why is that important to know? I could run 1,000 searches and push them into GHL with zero impact on my monthly subscription from GHL, right? But if I do the same thing in HubSpot, I might jump from 1,000 a month to 2,000 a month just by going over a tier of how many contacts I'm allowed to have in my system. All right. Yeah. Laura, as Laura says, there's lots of hidden costs with HubSpot, but in terms of the integration, no, there's no traps other than pay per contact is something to be really, really aware of. when we were talking to Sean Clark in the first time that we met Sean, one of the things that really impressed him was the way that we sold GHL next to businesses that already ran HubSpot. We actually were talking to businesses and saying to them, use this as a pre-CRM, do all of your marketing, all of your nurtures, all of your pre-warm-up in a pre-CRM where you're not paying per contact, and only when they become a hot lead, then you push them over to HubSpot and let your HubSpot automations take over. But yeah, so the only piece of knowledge that jumps to my mind in terms of HubSpot is they are a pay per contact model. So you just need to be careful about doing that with a client and pushing off 2,000 cold leads into a HubSpot account, and then your client might get a massive bill. That's the only thing to be aware of.
Great. I mean, I've got a meeting in an hour with the clients, and they say that it's expensive, so they're looking at options as well. So it's good to,
Great.
to push as well. All right.
Yeah, fantastic. If they've already given you that, then that's a really strong sales tool for you for your GHL account, Takuma.
Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for hanging around. Guys, really appreciate you. We've got 35 people on the call. All of you guys are owners of an incredible license to a software platform that we're going to keep on building and keep on developing. You have the rights to it. Somebody explained it to me really well a couple of weeks ago. They said, you've got a warehouse full of a digital product. You can put your own brand on that warehouse and you can sell the product under your brand. The great thing is you never run out of supply. The warehouse never gets empty. All right. And you've got the supplier to that warehouse constantly keeping your stock up to date with the latest and greatest. All right. So you guys, your warehouse, which is your white label suite license, you can sell out the front of that warehouse to every single person that you can because you own a license to this tool and you get to push that out into the marketplace. It's so great to have you all with us. Thank you so much for being part of our world. If you'd like other people, business owners, I'm going to do this as a plug. We've also got a 30% affiliate program. So if you know other people that should be here and could benefit from White Label Suite, grab your affiliate link and introduce them so you earn a 30% recurring commission from them as well. Great way to go. Thank you all for being with us. I appreciate each and every one of you. Next week, same time, we've got a guest speaker coming in. So we'll have a great top performing individual coming to chat to us next week. And we can't wait to be of service to you. Thank you so much, everybody. Remember, support.whitelabelsuite.com if you need anything. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you on our next call. Cheers, everyone.